Today, we're going to talk about a security crisis that, honestly, sounds like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi thriller. But it's not. It's very, very real. We're looking at a super popular open-source AI agent called OpenClaw, and a massive vulnerability that researchers have fittingly nicknamed OpenDoor. So let me just ask you this right off the bat. Could a single innocent-looking document, the kind you might look at for work every single day, actually give a hacker complete and permanent control over your entire computer? Well, with OpenClaw, the answer is a terrifying yes. And that right there brings us to what's being called OpenClaw's OpenDoor Crisis. This whole story is coming to light thanks to some amazing work by security researchers over at Zinnia Labs. And trust me, what they found is a huge wake-up call for anyone using AI agents. The truly scary part here is just how simple the attack is. We are not talking about some elaborate scheme to trick a user into clicking a malicious link. Nope. The researchers found that just by having OpenClaw process a document that has a hidden command buried inside, an attacker can install a permanent backdoor. This isn't just a minor bug, it's a flaw that basically hands them the keys to the entire kingdom. So how in the world does an attacker actually pull this off? Let's take a look at the blueprint for this backdoor. We're going to break down this incredibly clever and deeply worrying attack step by step. All right, let's walk through this. It all kicks off with a manipulated document, right? It's got a hidden prompt inside. When OpenClaw reads it, it gets tricked into creating a Telegram bot that the attacker controls. Boom. That's the permanent backdoor, a direct hidden line right to the AI. And from there, it's game over, full system compromise. They can install what's called a C2, or command and control beacon, and turn that AI into a gateway to steal data, move across the network, or even launch a ransomware attack. And hey, if you think, okay, I'll just find the backdoor and delete it, think again. This attack has a brilliant persistence mechanism built in. The attacker modifies OpenClaw's core configuration file, this thing called sold.md, which is like its main instruction manual. Then a scheduled task just rewrites this file every 2 minutes. So even if you find and nuke the malicious Telegram bot, the system automatically reinstalls it just moments later. The attacker's control just snaps right back into place. It's wild. So this all leads to the big question. How is any of this even possible? Well, it all comes down to a really fundamental architectural flaw. We've seen the how the attack works. Now let's dig into the why. The problem is baked right into OpenClaw's core design. The technical name for this kind of thing is indirect prompt injection. Basically, it's an attack where malicious instructions get hidden inside of external data. So instead of the AI just reading the information in a document, it gets tricked into following these hidden commands as if they came directly from you, the user. Okay, here's the absolute heart of the issue. Your computer should really operate on 2 different tracks. A trusted context for your direct commands, stuff the AI should obviously execute, and then an untrusted context for everything else, like external documents or emails, which it should only process. The huge glaring flaw here is that OpenClaw just dangerously mixes these 2 altogether. It literally cannot tell the difference between your orders and malicious instructions that are slipped into a document. Now, you might be sitting there hoping this is just a one-off mistake, right? An isolated incident. Well, unfortunately, the evidence points to a much broader pattern of, negligence. It turns out this OpenDoor vulnerability is really just the tip of the iceberg. A developer recently ran OpenClaw through a security analysis tool called Zero Leaks, and the results are just astonishing. OpenClaw scored a 2 out of 100. A 2. That's not a typo. For a bit of perspective, Claude Opus 4.5 scored a 39, and even that is considered nowhere near acceptable for a tool with this kind of system access. And it gets worse. The Zero Leaks analysis dug up a whole bunch of other problems. An 84% data extraction rate during tests, a staggering 91% success rate for injection attacks, and maybe most troubling of all, the tool found that system prompts and config files could be read with almost zero effort. This isn't just one open door. It's like the entire house was built without any locks at all. So how many of these vulnerable systems are actually out there? Well, a simple internet scan found, get this, 954 OpenClaw instances running with their ports just wide open to the internet. A lot of them didn't even have basic authentication turned on, which makes them sitting ducks for this exact type of attack. All of this really leads to a critical, non-negotiable conclusion for the future of AI. Security is not optional. The convenience and the power that these agents bring to the table simply cannot come at the cost of our fundamental security. It just can't. The Zenity Labs researchers who discovered this flaw really said it best. Their warning is direct, it's clear. As we start to integrate these powerful AI assistants deeper and deeper into our lives, letting them read our emails, letting them access our files, we absolutely have to demand security by design. It can't be an afterthought. And this leaves us with one crucial question to chew on. As we race to innovate and build the next big thing, are we actually building helpful AI assistants to make our lives easier? Or are we just building perfect, persistent backdoors right into our own digital lives? That's a question we all really need to start asking.